A cute baby.
Yes, we had our cuteness update.
We have had our cute. Usually we have our little Pokemons update. Now we have our cuteness update.
Yeah, we did our Pokemons update early.
You know, and I appreciated that. I got to sit and talk to Annika for a couple minutes, and you guys just had your little uninterrupted Pokemon's time.
Yeah, just talking about, upcoming events, DLC content.
Things that I do not understand in the slightest.
Oh, but I would like to start doing with
DLC content's a little redundant, don't you think?
Oh my God.
Content.
I guess that's true.
Don't
DLC.
even start, okay? Can we do the show?
Well, one last thing, though. It's about the show. I would love to start deciding which Pokemon that our topic reminds us of at the end of the episodes. If that's something that everybody
yes,
thinks,
if you guys want to do that, if you guys want to work on that of like deciding at the end,
or assign a Pokemon to them based on who we think
assign
like
who we think fits.
as you get to know their character.
So we have to learn the Pokedex. There's some that bring children to the afterlife, so the Pokedex gets kind of dark. It can fit.
Okay. There's child murder in the Pokemon
yes,
world.
there is. I said that way too happily.
Isn't Mimic one of them?
Mimikyu
is thought to be a dead child, possibly, or a dead baby Pokemon of some sort, mimicking others to try to fit in. Phantump is another one. It's the spirit of a ghost child that was lured into the hollow of a tree, basically. So its head is like a little tree stump.
It's
got a little ghostly body underneath it.
It's deceptively cute.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
And I love playing that Pokemon.
All right. This will be the first episode that we do Pokemon assignment at the end.
Yay!
Right.
The Pokedex.
All right. Are we
But for
ready to
now-
get started?
Yes.
On this year in history.
Well, who the fuck are we first?
Nope, we're going to pipe that in later. Clip it.
A well-behaved woman is trim and proper. Chores always done, not a hair out of place. When the husband comes home, she greets him with a smile.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Are you tired of Hitler?
I feel no shame.
Okay, one liar as a kid can find another liar.
I want that stricken from the record.
How else is she gonna learn if she doesn't have a feather?
I could go fuck in the big house.
You're a mess, girl.
I am here to audition for Babysitters Club extras.
I brought my own hammer.
Welcome back to another episode of Well-Behaved Women. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome to Well-Behaved Women. I, as always, am B, joined by my lovely co-hosts Hannah Moses and Lauren Schill.
Hello.
What's up, babes?
Hi. Hey.
We already did our intro, so we're not going to waste any more time with the jabber talkies.
With the nonsense?
With the sillies and the giggles.
And the giggies.
It's time to get into a story. What are we learning about today?
We're learning about a bitch.
A bitch.
Or two.
Two
Some
bitches.
badass broad who may or may not be evil. We'll find out as the story unfolds.
One bitch in the hand is worth two bitch in the bush.
Yep.
Okay.
Talking about bitches bushes. Man, we're getting started early. On this year in history.
Puccini's opera Tosca premieres in Rome. The U.S. and the U.K. sign an agreement to build a Central American shipping canal across Nicaragua.
Whoa.
The British Labour Party is established.
I think we're in the 1800s somewhere.
And the Southern Cross expedition takes place, and they reach a new low on the Earth as far south as anyone had gotten to that point.
Okay.
I think we're actually in the early 1900s.
You think?
I do.
I'm going to guess 1887.
All right. What about you?
My gut initially was telling me 1910, so I'm going to stick with that.
Okay. Hannah gets it.
All right,
Whee!
cool.
How close?
Is it in between us?
Yeah, how close?
It's
Who's
right
closer?
between. It's right between you
So
guys.
it's like
so we were-
It's literally 1900.
Nice.
Oh, shit. Equidistant. Nice.
First thing I said was early 1900s.
You were
That's
technically
about as
closer.
early 1900s as it gets.
It is literally the earliest.
Thank you.
In all technical terms, yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
what month are we in? I'll let you know for sure.
In the blackest night prophecy, there is a line. A force of hate will rise as the red lantern is anointed in blood. The bearers rage unfiltered and unchecked. Geoff Johns describes the Red Lantern Corps as being the most violent of the Corps, based on violent reaction driven by emotional eruption, rage instead of any clear-cut plan of war. He describes Atrocitus as, quote, the most coherent and in control of the Red Lanterns, quote, but notes that he will have trouble controlling the other, more feral members. Sinestro is their primary target.
Is this what I think it is?
Hold on.
Okay. I'll hold.
Where's Hal Jordan, goddammit?
I need to
Wait,
hold.
sorry, this is the wrong script. Okay.
Oh! I was like, oh, shit, girl, I think it's what I'm thinking about. Hell yeah.
In the year 1900, China was dealing with a lot of political shit.
All right.
This is shortly after the Sino-Japanese War, which we a little bit talked about when we were covering Zushi.
Uh-huh.
She had basically agreed to give up a lot of ports for the prospect of peace among the shipping areas.
We will disband the pirates, but you will make us all naval officers, and we will run your navy.
It was a while after that, but basically it was like all of these foreign lands that we had taken back, that Qingxi had taken back way earlier. Now Zushi gave them back up to these foreign lands.
Fine, we don't need them.
Basically, like, if it means peace, yeah, sure, you can just land here whenever the fuck you want.
It's a lot of land to be responsible for. I don't feel like being responsible anymore.
Just wanted to offload her plate a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead, take it back.
So there's one specific area, and the locals are just not really happy about foreign invaders on their land and in their ports.
I mean, are they ever?
These guys are called the Yihetuan, or more commonly, the Boxers.
Oh, yeah.
They're called the Boxers because Americans don't like saying out Society of Righteous and Harmonious Fists.
Oh, so they just called them Boxers.
They just called them the Boxers.
Fists.
Yeah, Boxers, got it.
I got
honestly.
that one.
They're also called that because of their practice and skill at martial arts.
The Harmonious
Excellent.
Fist.
Yep. So the Righteous and Harmonious Fists are a little secret society.
Ooh, secrets.
Secrets.
It's a pretty fucking awesome name.
I know, right?
Mhm.
The Righteous and Harmonious Fists. Jesus.
Yeah.
I need a movie. It's that.
I would love that, but I would love to see a movie about our topic, I believe.
It's never known exactly how many members were around in that secret society because the guys inside it were super secretive and also
wouldn't be very secret.
yeah, they
would
were
it?
super secretive, but also they were farmers, so everything was dispersed. It was not centralized.
We're all
It was like
farmers.
just
Just a cover.
Yeah,
Smart.
yeah,
It's like how the
exactly.
mob are all accountants. You know what I
exactly,
mean?
yeah.
You're all accountants.
Accounting.
The Boxers took umbrage with losing their ports and land, and they started what is now called uncreatively the Boxer Rebellion.
Woo!
Oh, yes. Here we go. All right.
It started out small, but it spread around over 2 years with intermittent battling against foreign invaders and the Qing government itself, which switched sides at one point, which is confusing, so we're just... I'll get to it. So the Boxers and their strictest form, quote, did not allow sexual contact or even looking at a woman for fear that the female's polluting yin would destroy the invulnerability ritual.
Oh my
Unquote.
God, we're toxic. You know what?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm all about it. Let
We'd
me
throw
be
off their gang.
fucking Medusa, bitch.
That's what
Let's
I was just going to
go.
say. All women are Medusa. Don't look them in the eyes.
I want to be Medusa. I would love it. I'd have my own little cave, and then sometimes I just walk around town.
Anyway, the female yin would destroy the yang.
We're toxic. That's where we were at.
Sounds so sexual.
Yo, yeah.
Hey guys.
Well, and that's
you want
part of
some
it is like
yin?
if you get tempted by my yin.
Have you ever had a yin sandwich?
Would you like to?
A yin gina?
I gotta go yang off.
He's yanging it.
Yeah.
Hit me right
Sorry.
hit me right in the yang.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, Lynn Hayer was born on a canal boat to an acrobatic family, and she grew up learning the trade. As she got to young adulthood, she met and fell in love with a man named Lee Yu Chuan.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yu Chuan.
Ew,
I
God.
am not good at pronouncing these names. I'm trying. I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah.
Yuchuan.
We're doing our best with the dialect that we have.
So they married very young, and at the time he was in the opium business, obviously.
Oh.
And
Hey, he's in the poppy
Making-
business. Take it easy.
Poppy.
Come on.
Take
Whatever.
it easy.
We're having a nice time.
Allegedly.
It's
He's
a
just
really
selling
chilled
flowers.
out business.
Allegedly.
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 He deals in flour. Come on.
Allegedly.
Come on.
Opium dens are cool. Relax.
They're very relaxing.
Everybody chill.
ASMR.
Have some tea. So he was in the opium business, and when a deal went south, he was arrested during a raid by British forces.
Rough.
The white man trying to get me down again.
They're trying to take his opium.
The white man really did take him down. They beat him and they tortured him, and then he died in prison.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, how old?
As most of our good stories begin,
Not
you know,
old
terrible deaths, that
Yes.
kind of shit.
Usually.
Yeah.
He was probably in his early 20s.
We have
I'm
some
guessing.
real Batman archetype stories going on in this pod. It's always like a fucking tragedy.
Someone's got to die at the first part of
revenge.
it.
They went to the opera. They went to the movies.
That's how every great movie starts.
Yeah.
It's the death of somebody that sparks the character arc.
Yep.
The hero's journey.
Yes, we have to get into the hero's journey.
And the calamitous event that set them on it.
Mm-hmm.
So her husband was tortured and beaten
Mutilation
by the
station.
British, and he died. Having absolutely nowhere else to go, no backup plan, and no money, she had to get into sex work because she had to survive somehow.
Yeah.
So she became a prostitute along the banks of the river in Tianjin.
Sex, drugs, and Chinese rock and roll. Sweet.
Yep. She was heartbroken, and she grew more and more furious by the day that her love was gone, and it was the fault of these foreign monsters.
Fucking monsters.
And as it turned out, there was a group that shared her upset about those foreigners.
The White Devils.
She joined the ranks of the Harmonious Fists.
Oh, yeah.
The Righteous and Harmonious Fists.
I want that movie so bad. House of the Fist.
House of the Fist. I like it.
So she joined the Righteous and Harmonious Fists, and she learned what she could about the martial arts. Quote, she swore to take the heavens as her father, the earth as her mother, the stars as her brothers, the moon as a sister, and drank a bowl of chicken's blood.
Whoa.
Quote,
I love a good ritual.
if I, your pupil, do not respect your law, or I divulge this way of immortals, may my flesh be reduced to congealed blood. I will never go against my teaching.
This is so Mortal Kombat.
If I should go against this teaching, may a thunderbolt strike me dead.
Literally.
Fatality.
Fatality. Get over here. Finish him.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm. There's a new Mortal Kombat movie, I believe, that came out earlier this year.
I hated it. Oh
Oh,
my
did you
god.
watch
I
it?
fell
bad.
asleep so fucking quickly. It was
boo.
terrible. And Gary even tried to stay awake through the whole thing, and he was like, nah, it was the worst.
It even had a punny name.
It was horrible.
God
Yeah,
damn it.
I heard.
It's supposed to be about Johnny Cage. I was really looking forward to it. Well, now I know I don't have to waste my time. Thanks.
Yeah, don't waste your money. Don't waste your time.
It was like the legend of the what seal or whatever.
Oh, I don't think that was the one I was talking about then. Maybe this is...
Oh, did they come out with another Mortal Kombat
There's
movie?
like a Johnny Cage one. It's
it's like
he's
a
like the protagonist. The main one, anyway.
Okay.
It's not
Maybe that's a different one.
I'll look
I'm
up later.
thinking... Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so she has to learn these protective incantations. They're 8 characters long, and if she prays to the 3 Easts 3 times a day, nothing can harm her. Basically, it's a
Okay.
She's a Muslim superhero.
little bit. Once she'd done that, and she'd gone through an intensive martial arts training, they burned her with wormwood leaves, and then she was inducted into the group.
Wait.
I don't know.
Okay.
They burned her with wormwood leaves. I'm going to go ahead and say it was some sort of branding ritual or whatever.
Yeah, I'm guessing like they just like lit the leaves on. They dried them, lit them on fire, and just kind of like burned her skin a bit, and then the
Yeah.
leaves went out.
Maybe it had some sort of like herbal magical power or
Maybe.
whatever, and just, I don't know.
All right,
Do some
whatever.
homework.
She survived though, so we're good.
Well, all these rituals are just meant to scar you. They're not
Pretty
really meant
much.
to kill you.
It's
There are some that are
traumatizing
meant
to
to
get
kill
you to
you, though.
stay there.
yeah.
Yeah. She gets done with that, and they're like, all right, hey, we're from S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say, whoa,
Where's Nick Fury?
MCU.
Where's Nick Fury?
No, so she's in this group, and she decides she wants to kind of branch off and form something else within that, something even more, you know? And it was a martial arts unit, and it was one specifically that only had women involved.
Nice.
Uh huh.
They'd be secretive, They'd
Nice.
dress in red,
Excellent.
and they would be known for their supernatural powers.
Fuck yeah.
Female fist.
Woo!
She'd call them the Red Lanterns Shining, Hong Deng Zhao.
Woo!
I'll hong your dang.
That's like the Red Lantern. It's just, woo, it's way better than the Green Lantern.
Isn't red for rage? I
Hey.
believe the Red
think
Lanterns
so.
are powered by rage.
Now, totally.
Yes, in that universe, yes. And I literally learned that because every time I fucking try the source material on this shit is so scant.
Yeah.
Anytime I googled this shit, it
I'm
all
sure.
went to DC
Comics,
Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey man, that is the Darkest Night, Brightest Light.
That's why do you think I had that opening?
I know, but it's one of the best like superhero like
so good.
stories ever. Like,
Yeah.
it's widely. I remember I was in high school when that came out.
There's like a red cat that, like, his story made me cry.
The Cat Lantern.
Yeah. I don't know, but, like, his owner was, like, murdered, and he was, like, a little scared cat, and he couldn't do anything
all the
about it,
Justice-
and then he got beaten, like, to death.
I always felt like they
And
did
then
his character so dirty by making that the movie that they made.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Ryan Reynolds movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried.
I mean, it was a
He met
step
his
to
wife.
Deadpool, which I'm fine with, and he met his wife, which was great because
It's pretty
very,
sweet.
very silly couple.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think it's important for the development of the story, and I also enjoy the fact that Ryan Reynolds is constantly making fun of that role in other roles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So that's really best
He's
case
awesome.
scenario. But I really would like to see a better iteration because we have
Same.
so many. I mean, like hopefully now James Gunn being at the helm of DC, we'll see that a Jon Stewart Green Lantern would be really great.
and we
Jon
have the
Stewart?
technology
The
to
black
do
one.
it.
He's Jon Stewart is the Green Lantern from the Justice League
Oh.
animated series.
I
Not
don't
the
know
Jon
why-
Stewart you're thinking
Yeah,
of.
I went straight to Daily Show with Jon
Yeah.
Stewart,
Yeah, no,
and I'm
he's-
like,
he's
what?
a super Jew, just not the one I'm talking about.
Nice.
Yeah, Jon Stewart. All Jon Stewarts are great in this context. I don't know about- if you're a Jon Stewart out there, I don't know you. I'm not talking about you.
All right.
All
so
the Jon Stewarts calling. Get
I don't
mad.
vouch for you. I don't know.
All right.
so the source material on these bitches is real scant.
I'm sure.
We're
Secret
gonna.
society and all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Good
We're
job,
gonna
ladies.
hear some stories on the stories on the stories.
Yeah, give me the whispers.
Right. So temporarily today, we're just suspending reality, and we're going to get into the magical and the mystical and the mysterious powers possessed by the Red Lanterns.
That's perfect.
Yes. Quote, with their red kerchiefs, the Red Lantern became the Boxer's arsonists, destroying buildings with a gentle wave. Nearing midnight, the lithe young Red Lantern women took to the streets, shouting propaganda and drawing thousands of onlookers who were swept away with their elegance and violent slogans. Women don't cut your hair, the Red Lantern shouted. Cut off foreign devils' heads.
Woo!
Women do not bind your feet. Strike away the foreign devil's smiles.
Damn straight.
Barefoot Warriors.
No, just don't bind your feet. It was the like don't
You know
don't
foot binding?
constrict your.
Hey, you suspend your disbelief however you want. That's what I'm going to take it as.
Well, it was binding was a very common practice at the time, so it's like don't.
Have you seen pictures of, like,
Oh my
They
god,
look
it's
awful,
terrible. They're
yeah.
horrible.
it looks so painful.
yeah,
and
don't
they
maim
start at
yourself in
such a
the
young
name
age.
of class.
Can't be a ninja with fucked up feet.
Exactly.
You balance.
Lynn Hayer trained these women for up to 5 months. She would recruit prostitutes, not as she so lovingly called them, lotus feet, which were the women who would bind their
Yeah.
feet. It was in reference to the fact that the wealthy Chinese women of nobility traditionally bound their feet and definitely weren't tough enough to deal with the shit.
It's always back to feet.
Well, no one within the group would be allowed to bind their feet, nor did she accept people who had bound feet because she trained them in various forms of martial arts and fan
Yeah.
waving. So literally, you can't be a ninja with
not
bound
gonna-
feet,
With fucked up feet.
with lotus
Yeah.
feet. You can't do it.
No, you're not going to be able to stabilize.
Yeah.
You can't get out of places fast enough.
Exactly.
Can you spread your toes? Great. You might be a fit.
I don't know if this was a requirement, but given the time, a lot of young Chinese girls were fairly malnourished, and they were still prepubescent. So the pre-child rearing age was said to give them the purity needed to possess all of these powers. The girls were decked out head to toe in red clothing, shoes, accessories, all of that shit.
Bring out the confidence.
Quote, wearing all red, carrying a small red lantern, whoosh, with a wave of the fan, up they fly to heaven.
Wow.
Up they fly to heaven.
I like to think that one of the techniques that she trained them in was turning their foot into a fist.
And so they could kick with all fours.
Yeah. I mean, like a leg punch, you can call it a kick, but if your foot isn't a fist, that's a leg punch. It's going to be a lot harder than a regular punch.
I mean, if you can figure out how to get your toes curled around
Can they
like
really-
that,
That's
then
what,
yeah.
I'm, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
Breaking your
Yeah.
toe knuckles.
No, it's all about technique.
All right.
Like when you learn how to punch in boxing, they call it a boxer's break because too many people who don't know how to punch lead with their pinky.
You got to do it with these two
Yeah.
knuckles because that
You got to
with
land
if
on
you
the
got a
flat
straight
part of
arm.
your fist if you don't
Yeah,
want to
that
hurt
makes
yourself.
sense.
So I imagine for anybody that could potentially form their foot into a fist, there's probably a technique for that too.
Well, then go for the shins.
You know?
That'll really knock someone.
Yeah.
It'll
fucking
hurt.
Shin kicks are tough.
They hurt.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
News. It's news time. News,
Elsewhere in
guys.
the world.
Get your news.
Elsewhere in the revolution.
Ooh.
So we are talking about one very small group of people right now in one very small part of China.
One faction.
But the Boxer Rebellion was hundreds of thousands of lives strong even there. And there was a lot of strategy that it was pissing off the foreign powers that
the
be.
factions of the fist.
Factions of
The factions of the righteous and harmonious fists. They are all still trying to get the land and the ports promised to them. And I'm just going to show you this comic because I think it perfectly sums up the problem.
Whoa. I love how they're depicting the white people.
I know. You can- you
all
can
with
hand
their
it to me.
knives out.
Yeah, they're so it's
Another
a
great
comic,
movie. Knives Out.
and
Yeah.
there is basically a big circle that says China, and they are dividing it up like slices of so many slices of pie, and it's Queen Elizabeth or Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria, the like Austria-Hungary guy,
Yeah.
the Tsar of Russia, Japan, Italy was in there.
Yeah.
Basically a bunch of different nations that have all been promised these pieces of these ports and stuff right inside of this river.
Mm-hmm.
The way they depicted the Chinese person.
Hold on.
Dude, the way they depicted the Chinese person in the background is
Rough.
very. Who did this cartoon again?
I don't know. It
You
was
just-
a cartoon that came out around that time. It was just popped up in the newspaper. It's literally part of the Wikipedia page.
Actually, I think that might be France.
On the this one is on the Wikipedia page of the Boxer Rebellion of like this was kind of the logic behind it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They do not depict the Chinese guy in a nice way.
No.
All of his fingernails are real long.
Like, they look like claws. They gave him razor sharp teeth.
Got a real cool mask on though.
It's not a
the
mask.
French Revolutionary lady is in there.
Yeah, I think that's a French revolutionary woman.
All right, so this next part, I don't at me if I get it wrong because it's confusing.
Well, like you said, the resources are scant, so it's very hard
Right.
to cross-check things if you can't get too much information.
So when battled as single entities, the opposing forces were absolutely no match for the skill and the stealth of the Boxers. And I imagine that the fact that these foreign invaders were coming onto unfamiliar territories
Yeah.
and being beaten out by little girls and dudes in red was a kick to the groin of their
Gotta be a little
tiny
to
little
the-
egos.
Yeah, their ego's taking a little nut
A
shot.
little bit of a hit, yeah. So the whole time this town is in rebellion and the international powers want their land, they don't care much how many people they have to kill to get it. They're like,
Yeah.
however many people need to die. That's fine.
Because they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. They've been sabotaged by these red lanterns for way far too long, so they need backup.
Okay.
So Britain, Germany, the US, France, Tsarist Russia, Japan, Italy, and Austria made up what we are going to call the Eight Powers, or the Eight Power Allied Forces. They were the ones who had skin in the game, and they decided they wanted to work together to get all of the land that they'd been promised.
Uh-huh.
So this guy Seymour comes in, he's got like 2,000 sailors and Marines, and he's coming up through these river waters, and the Qing government officials have been told up to this point to just let him pass in. They're like, sure, cool, because he's going to help get rid of the Boxers who won't give their land up. And so I mentioned like this whole time the government has been pretty anti-Boxer themselves because they're an annoyance. And this whole agreement gave us peace in a critical time, so we kind of have to do this.
Yeah.
But then suddenly, literally, like as this guy is going through the river, this other guy, Prince Ching, he got replaced with a pro-Boxer Manchu guy named Prince Duan. And Prince Duan sends word right away. He's like, don't let Seymour in. That'd be a bad idea. We got to block him off because then we want to be able to protect the Boxers. That message, along with the notice of the very new change in leadership, was sent down to the train tracks as that they were coming in on.
Okay.
But those two pieces of information
they fuck
with the messaging. So like, okay, I'm supposed to believe that we're pro-Boxer.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're the one in charge.
Yeah.
Like, all right, buddy. I'm sure you are. Yeah.
Guy.
Okay, guy. Whatever.
Fucking gay.
Fucking gay.
That's your buddy, pal.
Not your pal, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So because of this conflicting information, the Qing government didn't block Seymour's way, let him right through, just as planned. This really didn't help them much anyway, because not too far down the tracks, the Boxers had already ruined the train line, making the travel impossible by train. So then, because they're out of their trains, they got attacked on all sides by the Boxer groups. They were literally waiting for them.
They have you
It was a fucking ambush. Yeah.
We have you surrounded.
Both sides lost a lot of lives that day, and it was a Boxer victory over a major player. Seymour and his surviving guys take off, and they happen on a huge arsenal for the Qing weapons. So they hole up in there, and they try to get word out. They're like, all right, we got all these weapons. We're safe for now, but we've got to be able to get out, because now we're kind of behind enemy lines. So word gets back to the 8 powers, and then they send in backup. And as those things are coming, word is also getting back to the right people on the other side. And so all of these lines over to the Boxer ears, they come calling. And the Boxers are attacking around the clock, and they're just really running them down. They're exhausting their resources. And the 8 powers finally work their way through, all the way through the battle lines, get to Seymour's men, but basically just to get them out. Just like, come on, let's go.
Okay.
We're not going to try and fight these guys. They destroy the arsenal of the Qing government, though, because now, since they're pro-Boxer,
they don't want them having
They don't want them having it, exactly. So the retreat is unopposed, but it's definitely a retreat from a battle lost. And soon after, the surrender offers are coming from the 8 powers to our girl, Zixi. From Wikipedia, so when Zixi received an ultimatum that same day demanding that China surrender total control over all its military and financial affairs to foreigners, she defiantly stated before the entire Grand Council, now they have started the aggression, and the extinction of our power, the extinction of our nation is imminent. If we just fold our arms and yield to them, I would have no face to see our ancestors after death. If we must perish, why don't we fight to the death?
She's right.
Excellent.
Yep.
What's ours is ours.
Yep.
Right. It's worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Till the very end.
Send those crackers back to Whitetopia.
She basically said, if you're a Chinese soldier, you're now fighting for the Boxer side. You try to protect your fucking land. Protect what's yours. And things got pretty crazy after that. So, Times correspondent George Morrison, quote, I find Boxers everywhere in evidence. Knives have doubled in value, and cutlers are doing a roaring trade. The danger of the Boxers is increasing. My Chinese houseboy has regaled me with tales of how 8 million spirits will descend from heaven and exterminate the foreigners.
Ah, yes, my Chinese houseboy.
What? Where did that come from?
Ah, yes. He's the Chinese houseboy of this guy that was talking.
Okay.
So the Boxers by this point had a certain reputation to keep, and they saw themselves as impervious to harm. Nothing can touch them, right? They do all their little
That's what they
praying and
think,
their
yeah.
actions, and nothing can harm them. And because the Red Lanterns were women, that whole belief in their protection and plus their extra, lady parts, basically.
Extra lady parts.
The Boxers had a certain reputation to keep up themselves. They saw themselves as impervious to harm, and nothing could touch them. All of this was only amplified in the Red Lanterns because of the fact that they were women. They were already possessed of those powers, that vagina power, that kind of shit. And because little girls were pure and innocent and hadn't been sullied by, the male gaze yet, their powers were even more powerful. Like the amplified. Basically, they was the most magic is.
Ah, yes, the power of the
somebody
virgin.
had told me that before. I lost
The most
my virginity, I may have
magicist.
held out longer.
It's not worth it. There's no power in virginity.
No,
Don't
it's
be
a
fooled.
total construct.
Don't be fooled.
What a way to tell girls abstinence keeps you magical and powerful.
Keep you
Well,
from getting
when they're
pregnant.
kids,
Yeah, that's the
these
real
are
thing.
little kids. These are way prepubescent kids.
Okay,
that
good. I
You shouldn't
was
be
like,
thinking
don't
about
be
them
talking-
in any way, way, shape, or
Okay,
form.
good, because I was hoping
It's like,
it
no,
wasn't
these
like
are
that.
pure children. Let's treat them as these holy little things.
I see.
That are
I thought it
that
was
are
going
magical.
a creepy direction. I'm glad
almost
it's
like a
not.
fae, kind of.
Ah,
I think the priest said
Whimsy.
the same thing. Let's treat
There's
them
whimsy.
like holy little things.
But
You're welcome. I'll be here all week.
except for when you're working.
Just give it a minute to sink in for everybody. Just gonna bask in it.
Right. So all of this magic surrounding these Red Lanterns made them bulletproof and invisible.
Fuck yeah.
At a certain point, Lynn Hayer was kind of ascended to a different position, and she was started to be known as the Yellow Lotus. And so she would still do this 5-month training. And so during these trainings, the students would chant incantations. They would walk on water while doing so. They'd use their fans to fly through the air. They could control the direction and power of the wind when they were in the air. With one wink, they could set ablaze an entire building. And Lynn Hayer herself was known to be able to raise the dead by rubbing their body. And they could make guns freeze.
Interesting. I wonder what they actually did.
All that. What do you mean? They did all of that.
They winked and set a fire.
What
Yeah.
They literally froze guns.
Yep.
They walked on water.
Yeah.
If Jesus did, why can't they?
I didn't think Jesus walked on water.
Boom! Bibled.
Bibled. I've been Bibled.
If Jesus could do it, why can't they?
I didn't think Jesus walked on water
That's a
either.
little ableist, don't you think?
I don't think I was ableist.
They rolled on water.
They rolled. I mean, yeah. They had wheelchairs back then, yeah?
Yeah, in 1900. Yeah.
Oh, I forget what year this is.
did.
I forgot what year this was. I'm sorry. I forgot myself.
we're just
And
gonna
I didn't
ro-
check myself before I wrecked myself.
Roll right past it.
Yeah, they're gonna roll across the water like a child down a hill. Tuck your arms in.
Oh my god.
That was my first thought. I forgot what year this was. Look, my ADHD is raging right now. Now my cheeks
Not
hurt.
enough or too much caffeine.
I have no caffeine in my
So
system
not
right
enough then.
So not enough.
now. I am decaf.
It's one or the other. You got to be perfectly caffeinated.
You're
No,
decaffeinated.
I need to be decaf, so no anxiety.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I don't get anxiety from the caffeine. I get like the doom. Like I can't handle anything without caffeine. I need the buzz to
I
make
get
my
like
brain
physically
zero in.
shaky. It's okay. You don't have to stop drinking caffeine.
I won't.
Anyway, we were saying
We were saying that these women fought in ways that were never fucking seen before.
The Yellow Lotus trained them well.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and state the obvious. Well, what I think is the obvious. here.
Yeah, you.
What
hold
I
your-
think is the
you hold
obvious.
your damn horses.
I just think the girls were really fast at setting fires.
I think it's the little girls that are being all sneaky and squirrely, and because they're overlooked all the time, nobody notices those 2 or 3 little
Yeah.
girls sneaking out, fucking Game of Thrones little birds type shit.
Hiding in
Yeah.
plain sight.
Yes,
Little birds.
I think it's that little birds. Yes,
Little birds.
And
Vicious,
so
vicious
with a
birds.
wink, you could actually kind of get those winks down the line, and someone sets that fire.
And also,
so
it's
those
like-
visual cues.
I mean, you're an Assassin's Creed
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
Like, it's the thought of the group of whispers working together.
Yes.
You're never really sure who's where doing what and how many there are and what,
Yep.
See, when I
The
heard-
left hand can't know what the right hand is doing.
That's
yeah.
right.
When I heard they wink and set a fire, I'm thinking it's like, yo, they just like they're so
Shoo,
fast.
boom.
It's like you could blink and you miss it.
Well, and that's the great thing about like all these stories is like they're up for interpretation.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what does that
This is
what does
where
that
history's
story mean? It
so
can have lots of
fun.
meanings. You
Yeah.
know?
So fun.
It's very old timey.
History.
The Yellow Lotus didn't just form the red ranks of the Red Lanterns. The middle-aged women that joined the cause were called the Blue Lanterns,
Woo!
or Landeng Zhao. The old women, who were like the widows of the war, they were Haideng Zhao, or the Black Lanterns.
Woo!
She even formed, and I think this is one of my favorite things. She even formed a cooking lantern group called the Sha Guo Zhao, or the Cooking Pan Lantern.
Excellent.
These were the women who cooked for the army of the rebellion and kept people fed. Quote,
Yeah.
quote, armed with magic saucepans that never went empty, they fed the 60,000 strong Boxer army.
I love it. The lore
Yeah.
is fascinating.
The lore is. I like the lore they built onto this.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really a magic
pan that never goes empty.
thing, but
Yeah.
it's because they were so incredible at keeping people fed.
Yep. But
Yeah.
that's some Jesus miracle level shit, you know?
Yes, it is.
If we're going to be looking at lore, you know?
Yeah.
If we're going to compare lore. So the Red Lanterns were obviously known for their fighting, their swords, their fans, all of that shit. But the legend went far beyond the mere mortal. The girls could behead invaders by throwing swords at them.
Excellent.
They could marginally remove the screws from cannons and freeze and jam guns in the midst of action.
Excellent.
Even cooler still, they could stand still and send their souls into battle for them. They could force
Yep.
project themselves.
Astral
Astral projection.
projection.
Astral projection. The shooting out of souls also allowed them to spy on their enemies behind the battle lines, knowing what they were going to do as they came up with the plan.
There's a lot of
Put
sens-
them
a lot of
in Marvel.
sabotage going on.
Put them in the MCU.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
The girls acted.
Maybe in Shang-Chi too, they'll have something that is
That'd be
reminiscent
something like
of
that,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
The girls acted as lookouts, eavesdroppers. They apprehended spies. They shared news of other places, and they gathered intel.
Hell
I mean, it's kind of what the Kingsguard in Wakanda is.
Yep, for
Right?
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
During the actual battles, the girls stayed back. They took care of the wounded. They helped the nurses. They made food. They did whatever else was needed as support on the front lines.
Yeah.
So the dudes were still doing the fighting, but the women were acted in highly supportive roles.
It's like pit crew.
What?
It's like pit crew.
Yes, a very good pit crew.
Very good pit crew.
All
Magic pit crew.
Change a tire in 2 seconds.
right, this is one of my favorite stories. Okay, so the Boxers, the righteous and harmonious fists.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to get into this church, and it's a Catholic church, and they're laying siege or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of women inside who apparently expose their bosoms at the Boxers through the windows. And
Excellent.
they also wove quote unquote dirty things in the direction of the
Oh.
Boxers.
I wonder what's their
boys,
goal.
look at these.
And these are the guys that can't fuck around or do anything
Yeah,
with
they can't
girls,
even
right? Like they
look
can't
at a
even look at
woman.
them, right? So they're being flashed and taunted, and instead of continuing their attack, they just sit down and they wait for the lanterns to show up
Excellent.
and fix it for them. They're
Yeah.
like, all right, they'll come eventually.
Wait until my
And-
sister hits here.
Yeah, they will come eventually. Look out.
Oh.
My sister's gonna beat you up.
With cum.
What?
What?
So the lanterns show up and they're asking, like, all right, why did we have to come and deal with all of this for you, right? And the Boxers answered, the Red Lanterns are all girls and young women, so they do not fear dirty things.
Oh.
What?
Men fear dirty.
I'm going to
things?
go ahead.
Dirty.
Ew.
I'm going to go ahead and say it was probably like their pads. They must have been waving their pads or whatever at them. They'd been quarantined in that one area for their menstruations, and they were waving
Here's
those
my
bloody pads around.
Dirty menstrual cloth.
You don't want to come in. They were doing that. They were showing their bosoms and their
We're
bloody
women
pads.
and we're bleeding.
We're in our monthlies here. This is a quarantine area. You don't want to come in. Look
We're
how bloody it
toxic.
is. Yeah, go away.
We're toxic. We're literally waving red
Believe
flags.
me, you do not want to be in this building. It smells.
We're waving red flags, guys. Come on.
Grody.
Ew. Oh my god.
Come on, it was perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Dirty. Ew.
Yellow Lotus was even recognized by the Boxers that she was the judge and jury for any prisoner brought before her.
Nice.
If someone was found guilty of befriending foreigners or aspiring to foreign ways, they'd get decapitated.
Whoa.
Yep, they just lose their heads.
Oh shit. What's okay? Well, I need a really clear definition on what aspiring to foreign ways looks like. Okay.
It's up for interpretation.
I will just hope I don't seem like it.
Yep, you'll know once you violate it.
Okay.
Unless they had money.
Of course.
You can buy anything in the world with money.
Yeah, we can buy your sins.
I hate it, but yeah.
That's literally the right. I say
rebellions
this
need
fucking all
funding.
the time, okay? Literally, all of the Bible is teaching you is that if you make enough money, you can buy off your sins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still true. To
I was
this
going
day.
to say, we
Yep.
see that all the time
All
now.
the time. She was also seen as an oracle of sorts, obviously, because why the fuck not? Whatever. So she was asked by the governor of the province to visit him and to tell him what was going to happen with the Boxer movement. It's like, where do you see this going? Long term, 5-year plan.
Yeah,
Where are we going
yeah.
with this?
What are the projections like?
She says, I have arranged for an angelic host to destroy the foreign powers with a fire from heaven, she told the viceroy. You need not be alarmed.
Okay. A host made of fire. So the red lanterns.
An angelic host. So depending on what planet they're from, they could be angelic.
Mm.
I mean, and especially if you're coming from the
Krypton.
sky. Ooh, you know what? Honestly, that's perfect. The red lanterns, they're coming from
They
the
called
sky.
Superwoman.
And since the red lanterns are fired by rage, fire from heaven. I get
Yeah.
it. I got you.
That's
okay.
what I was thinking.
And here we have the crossover into the DC universe. We've done it.
Might you also call angels cherubians? All right, cool. Just wanted to get that cleared.
Okay.
So to make a very long story and a very tragic story, much shorter than it really should be, Yellow Lotus was wrong.
Okay.
She was real wrong. So,
How about,
Real-
how
real
about which
wrong.
part?
You can't win them all.
that the angelic host was going to come and destroy the foreign powers.
Oh
right.
boy.
So during the Battle of Tientsin, she, along with many members of the Red Lanterns, were captured by the 8 powers. They put up a fight and a lot of spit and vinegar, right? But some things are just inevitable.
Yeah.
She was tried and executed, likely beheaded.
Yeah.
In the years following the rebellion, we are still getting stories and report of Red Lanterns getting up to this and that, in different areas.
Yeah.
Some even said that the Yellow Lotus escaped. She was helped with a disguise, and she went to the edge of the city where a cloud waited to take her to heaven.
Excellent. A cloud elevated her to heaven.
Yep. Another tale says that she got out and she kept a weather eye out ever since, living in hiding. And most of the tales of her survival come from songs that were developed about her story.
Interesting. You
Yes.
have lyrics to said song.
No,
Damn.
no.
She was never seen or heard from again. We like to believe she's still out there.
Yep. We didn't see just her head, so
Watching over us to this day.
Teaching random passersby martial arts in the woods.
you're a mix between Red from Shawshank and Hannibal from Silence of the Lambs.
Wow. That's quite a combination.
I know, but it was
What?
right in the middle there.
Mm.
I love it. It's a good way. It was a good thing. Sorry.
It's a
I
good
like
thing.
no. It was, I liked it.
Andy Dufresne was my friend.
See there, yeah.
Oh, Perfect.
I'm not
timing.
crazy. This is good. Oh my god. So another tale says that in the town of Tianjin, there were certain buildings that were owned by the Eight Powers, as you know, they had been given all this land, these ports, and these buildings, and they were ones that the Qing army just never ever was able to get to. And in these moments, these red lanterns would show up with these baskets.
Yeah.
I can't in today's political climate, Qing army just sounds like a slur. I can't. It sounds like something conservative people would use to like.
Oh yeah,
say
I get
at
it.
Chinese people today, like it just sounds so like generic.
But it is QING,
No,
and
I get
the
it.
Q is pronounced
hearing
Yeah.
it, hearing you say Qing army, I'm just like, it couldn't be like, I don't know.
You feel like you're getting set up.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what I was
a little
thinking.
There's a
bit.
punchline I've been waiting
You
for.
racist fucks.
Psych!
Yeah, this whole time you believed. I'm just waiting for Ashton to come out.
No, America ruined everything.
So in these moments when you are kind of, you know, people will be walking around the sidewalk or whatever at night, and they'd look up and they'd see these red lantern people, red clothed people walking around the buildings or around the outside or up on the roofs or whatever, and they'd show up with these baskets. And inside these baskets, they had just a bunch
Glocks.
of... No.
No, not Glocks?
No.
Damn.
They had bullets from foreign guns.
Oh, I was not far
Not far
away.
off at all.
Not far off, dude. And how fucking menacing does that look? Okay, so you're alone. You're walking through the streets. It's a nightmare. It's nighttime. You're minding your own business. You're looking at all the buildings that all of these foreign invaders owned
They
and
took
then
their
promptly
guns.
abandoned. So they're completely empty.
We've got their ammo, but it does make me think real quick of instead of a flower girl at a wedding, you have a bullet girl.
Ammunition
That
girl
yes,
She just like tosses them on. And you have to.
chucks.
We have to
empty
kind of like
casings.
tiptoe down the aisle.
yes.
Oh God! Are any of the
That was what I kept
bullets
thinking. Is
going
the flower
off?
girl at Deadpool's wedding? No, they're just dropping
Oh,
and
funny.
so she's doing all this, and then in a moment, she's gone.
Nice.
She disappears.
She
And then in the next moment, the whole fucking building is up in flames.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lit a match.
Out of there.
Red Lantern.
So this last line, I'm just going to go ahead and quote directly from C.S. Hagen, who was a really great source of information for a lot of this lore. Like I said, the source material was scanned, but this person did a really good job.
He's a real scamp.
Alive or dead, Lin Hei, the Yellow Lotus, at only 29 years of age, broke the shackles of feudal ethics, showing the world women were just as capable as men. She was the first revolutionary in modern China, according to some, an inventor of tradition, and mother of the Chinese women's liberation movement. Her methods can be questioned, and have been for more than a century. Writers during that time name her whore, bandit, and witch.
Of course.
Her motives, however, cannot be denied. The foreign hands responsible for her husband's murder lit the red lanterns, burned her love to hate, and cast its bright light for the world to see. And in a way, more than 113 years later, her red lanterns still fly over Tianjin and have reached much further than Moscow or Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. I love her, and I want to see if there's any movies about her.
I know. It does.
I'm gonna
This
look it
is
up.
one of those, like, should be a movie, for sure.
Well, that was
How do you
lovely.
spell her name?
Yeah,
I believe I'll be doodling up a red lantern of sorts.
that would be really fun.
Yes, a little red lantern girl. Make it scary.
Just
But
the, I
like
think
with the
just
little
the
with the
lantern
rage
itself.
lantern type thing. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, that'd be amazing. I
Oh my god, a red
need her.
lantern, but make it instead of like kind of shape it a little bit like the Green Lantern symbol, but also like put
Yeah.
Chinese aspects of
I
like
might
a
even put
paper
it on
lantern
like
in there.
like a staff, like
Yeah.
with a hook, like
Yes.
hanging from a hook.
Yes.
You know?
What Pokemon do we think she is?
Oh yeah, Pokemon
She's
challenge.
got to be a fighting type for sure, and
Not
I would
necessarily. She could be a ghost type, like a ghost fire.
could be Ghostfire.
You know what I think she is? I don't even think we have to think about this. I think, given what I just said, it's a chandelure.
She
What's
could be.
that?
It's literally
Lighting fires?
It's literally a ghost lamp Pokemon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
okay.
has-
Like
that has
chandelier.
purple flames, and
Yeah.
its shiny version has red flames. I mean, it's
Hey.
pretty spot on.
Okay.
It's a little on the nose, but I feel like it
I like
fits.
it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think with her tactics with the Red Lantern specifically, you're right. I would say I'm getting too caught up on the martial arts part of it rather than the tactics she took in war. It's like blink, you miss it. Ghost can teleport and just go wherever.
That's okay.
Gonna show you. We're gonna teach you about Pokemon.
That's okay.
We're
I can
taking
do
you-
it one episode at a time. That's fine.
Yeah, one episode at a time.
So on the left is the
You're
regular.
gonna educate me, goddammit, whether I
Educate.
want to or not.
On the left is the shiny one, and on the right is the regular one. I mean, other way
I
around.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. It literally, it's like a chandelier, and it's got like a pumpkin head, and it has red flames out of its head and its little arms. It looks like almost like Cinderella's carriage
Little bit.
without the wheels, but where the pumpkin and all the corner parts of the carriage are on fire.
Mm-hmm. It's very spooky.
I'm gonna see if I can think of something else, but that is a pretty good one right there.
Yeah. Okay. I could get down with that one.
Let's see, what do we got?
Oh,
The
let's
other
see what
two-
Hannah's guess would be.
So I'm going ghost fighting because I think
Okay.
ghost was a great idea,
yeah.
but I really think annihilate, but not for her.
It's all right.
But it is one of the ones.
The
other
the
one-
second evolution of Chandelure is called Lampent. It's a little more
Okay.
the precursor.
That one looks a little more
Yeah,
probably thematic, I guess.
Hmm. I guess you could even go like Decidueye because it's got like the cloak. It's like a ninja.
you could.
hides in
I
the
would
trees.
say what you're talking about probably is better.
I think so.
Wow,
Cool.
it's been a fucking podcast.
Yeah, so
was
this
fun.
was the Red Lanterns and Lynn Hare, the Yellow Lotus.
I liked the misdirect of the DC universe at the beginning. It was fun. It was a nice little pop culture tie-in.
Well then, guys, it really has been
A fucking podcast.
podcast.
And Happy New Year to y'all.
yeah,
We're gonna
Going
be here all
in.
year and we're going strong.
yeah, we're going into another year, 2024.
I am very excited about a new series that is going to be coming up soon.
Yes.
Season 2.
2, maybe 3 episodes.
I gotta
Which
finish
will
my
be
first
crazy.
script.
And then, yeah, I'm really excited about the projects that I want to work on this year with you guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get Adam back on and do a
Yes.
pod with him, another
That'd be cool.
episode with
More
him.
guests would be good, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
It'll be really fun.
And then, like I said, I have to finish a few scripts because I have my own little series I'm trying to see if I
yeah.
can do. I'm trying to focus.
Ooh.
It's hard. Very hard. I don't know how you do it weekly. But you do. You're amazing. So I'm going
passion.
to try.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. So
It's a whole job that
Yeah.
that I pay to do.
yeah, I could probably write a good chunk of the script off memory alone. But
Passion comes first. Just remember that.
yeah, so I'm going to maybe use tomorrow for that.
There you go.
Cool.
We shall see. But
Awesome.
anyway,
Until next time.
Bye.
bye.
Peace.